am part of the developer enablement team. I am basically the core maintainer of Mirotone. And I also work on Create Miro app and the settings page for developers. And the last, say, month and a half, 2 months, I've been working on a prototype to create web components for Mirotone, but then also I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Stencil.js.
Well, I haven't played with that yet.
But you know it exists.
Max and I work together at Refractive. So.
Okay. So what Stencil allows you to do is write a web component, and they provide a way to export out of those web components React components, Vue components, and Angular components. So let's say right now we have our buttons that you know from the Mirotone website. This is just what we use internally, so a little glimpse into how we develop. There's the app cards in here, and I can just work on this. But yeah, I was just telling Max that the reason I started investigating web components is that when you go into the tabs, which I don't have in my storybook, it says provide your own interactivity. So look on NPM for anything that makes the tabs work. And we just only provided the classes. So you see, I can click whatever I want, doesn't work because this is just divs. But as you can see here, I can go now to web components and then to tabs, and you see my content is changing. So this is the interface, how that will look, what you will use. So you wrap your stuff with Miro tabs, and then you link a Miro tab to a Miro tab content by saying, by giving them a unique name, and you need to tell the system like this is a header or this is content. And then the beauty of it is I only have to write this as a web component, but now I can go to React and I have React components. And to show you that this is actually React, I can go to my React inspector, and you see here this is just a React component now.
That looks great.
But if I look here in the normal web inspector, it just renders the web component. So the React component that Stencil provides for us is just like synthetic sugar, that it's easier as a React developer. But yeah, it just renders the web component for me. And the same goes for Vue. The Mirotone docs website is written in React, so I can't kind of have the live demo as on the React web page. But yeah, this also works, and I have this tab open here. This is what I use. It's like a Stencil preview page where I can try out the components. So this is also the button in Vue. I don't actually know if I have my Vue developer tools here. Yeah. Skip. As you can see, I'm not a Vue developer, so I have no clue. But you'll have to trust me, these are Vue components that also just render the web components. And the idea is to split up the documentation website like this. So you may have noticed, like a month or so back, we had a different homepage, but now you just go to /CSS, and that was in preparation for if we decide to go live with this. Yeah, you can choose web or React or Vue, and then like the concept section and foundation and app templates, that's all still the same. App templates will need to be updated with using the correct components, of course, in the future. But yeah, this is how we think what could be a nice step to lower the entry level for developers that want to create plugins. So, what are your first thoughts?
I think that looks really good. We've been, anticipating pre-built web components for a while, so we're looking forward to using them in our own apps. And I think it'll definitely speed things up, and also make it easier to stay, in the design style.
Yeah, of course, that's the end goal, right? We want to make sure that everyone that wants to create a plugin can do so as fast as possible, with the lowest learning curve possible, and that's why a CSS library was a good decision at first, because there's more people that know CSS than that know React. But yeah, to speed things up for more experienced developers, it makes a lot of sense to take the next step, and that would be, of course, providing JavaScript components. So that's the plan for the future. Is there anything that you guys are facing issues that you have to do some custom styling or anything, and that we could take into account when we continue development on this?
Trying to think of any that we have. I know we've made suggestions in the past that you've incorporated. Trying to think if we have any outstanding options.
The one that you were talking about, Bentley joined on about sort of icons with a hover state.
Oh yeah.
With the blue hover state was one that we'd been working around. That was one little one. I think all of those. Tabs is a good example. You've hit a good one there. I think one of the questions I actually have in looking at where you're at there is like, how are you managing state of, which tab is selected in the component? Are you using, use state in React, or is there something else there? And sort of there's part of me that wants to see like the mechanisms of where the click event is handled, but I'm sure we'll see that when we take a look at this when you publish it.
The state is actually, it's like I said, it's POC, so we don't store the state yet. But if you want to know which tab is selected, it's quite easy, because in button content, web content. No, I need tabs content. This is table. Sorry. Content. If I want to know which tab is active, this is I can just listen for anything. So on click is alert. Oh, what's happening? Tabs. This should work, right? Or am I mistaken on the notation? Well, long answer short, we don't have it implemented yet, but what will be the interface for you guys in the future will be something like on click or on change tab, and that will be the event, and the event will have something like click tab ID, something like this.
And then we would write a handle. We can then, make our own handler for that.
Yeah, if you need to. If you need to know the state outside of this tab, but of course this depends on your app.
I mean, there might be situations where you need to like load something dynamically when you change a tab, like the content. Maybe, I don't know. I'd have to think more about it. But
probably
you may want
probably
else triggered. Or,
you'll handle that in the content itself, probably. But
but I can see. I can definitely see like when I shift from tab A to tab B, I want some other things outside of this component to activate or change context. Because now I'm looking at a different list of something, and I might want to see other options available to me, different buttons come alive. But just imagining. So I was curious how that works. That's cool.
Yeah, so this is the idea. But yeah, as I said, it's POC phase. So we first want to gather as much feedback as possible before we invest any more time in this, because I expected this to take me like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and it's taken me roughly a month and a half, 2 months. So before we spend any more time on it, we really want to gather some input from our users. So thanks for being here. To see if it's worth even investing any more time in this, or people are fine with just using the CSS classes.
What would you like us to are you ready for us to start kind of playing with it? Should we wait till it shows up on Mirotone, or do you have a beta kind of thing you want us to use?
Yeah, what we think we'll do in the upcoming weeks is publish this on NPM with just a note, this is beta, anything might change at any given time, do not use for production, something like that. And then have people play with it and see if they like the ergonomics of it.
Yeah, we can definitely try it out.
Yeah, so that's basically what we're looking for in this phase. And if the feedback is the ergonomics are great, then we of course are going to improve on that with things like I just showed you, like providing feedback on which tab is clicked. Probably.
It'll be in the. I'm sorry to interrupt, but it'll be in the main. You'll have it merged into the main NPM page.
No.
Of Mirotone.
No, because we provide the web components and React and Vue, and probably we'll also do the Angular ones, since we can just export it from Stencil.js. We don't want to push all the framework stuff to people that are not using all the frameworks, and no application hopefully uses all three frameworks. So. And we had the idea to start with just React components and not use Stencil.js, and then publish that in the main package. But yeah, again, there's also people that don't use React, so we don't want to pollute the CSS library with framework code. So that's what I wanted to show.